The first item that was taken up was the amendment to the Meghalaya Human Rights Commission Rules 2014. It's a very minor amendments that were made. Some words that had to be inserted and some words that had to be changed. So those words were inserted and some words were changed. So that was a very minor amendment to the Meghalaya Human Rights Commission Rule 2014. Second was the Contingency Fund of Meghalaya Amendment Bill. If you remember, we had passed an ordinance about a month and a half back. So, as is required by the law, that ordinance has to be now placed in the assembly and in the form of a bill, and it has to be passed. So that particular Contingency Fund for Meghalaya Amendment Bill 2021 was cleared by the cabinet to be then placed in the assembly. The third item was the amendment to the tripartite MOU that was signed on the 14th of October 2013 between the Department of Telecommunication, Government of India, the IT Department, Government of Meghalaya, and the Bharat Broadband Network Limited for the implementation of the BharatNet project in Meghalaya. So in that agreement, there were some changes that the DOT had asked the government of Meghalaya to do, and after detailed discussion with the state government, IT department, and the government of India, as well as Bharat Broadband Network, in order to ensure speedy implementation of the BharatNet project, which, as all of you know, is the project to lay optical fiber lines throughout the state and make them reach all the corners of the state. So in order to enhance the implementation of this project, certain amendments were made, and those were cleared today in the cabinet. We have also selected and proposed some names today for the post of the President of the Meghalaya State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, and also members of the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. As you are aware that the Supreme Court ruling required that by a certain date, the government, all the state governments need to appoint the presidents of the State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commissions as well as of the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Commissions, and according to those requirements by the Supreme Court, the State Cabinet had today approved some of the names to be proposed, and of course we will be talking to the concerned people, and once we get confirmation from them, the necessary appointments will be made. In some of the district committees, we have decided in the cabinet to give the discretion to the concerned department and the concerned minister to take the call on the members to be appointed at the district level. Third was a very short agenda, which was the extension of the services of Major Dr. K.I. Singh in the Zilla Sainik Welfare as the Zilla Sainik Welfare Officer, as his term had expired on the 14th. So therefore, there was a proposal to extend the term for another 3 years, which was cleared by the cabinet. We also had an agenda on the Meghalaya Medical Attendance Rules 1981 and the Meghalaya Medical Attendance Rules 2021. Sorry, the amendment to repeal the, I'm sorry, I'll just repeat myself. There was a proposal to repeal the Meghalaya Medical Attendance Rules 1981 and to pass the Meghalaya Medical Attendance Rules 2021. The main purpose of bringing in the new rules was to give a more structured approach to the medical reimbursements that are given to government employees. In the past, there were a lot of gray areas, and there was not defined systems, because of which the departments had to work a lot, and in the sense that they had to go through every case in a different manner. At the same time, there were also areas where, because of non-clarity, the expenditures sometimes were not within the limits that should be, and therefore, keeping all these factors in mind, the health department has proposed that new rules should be made, and in this new rules, limits have been set on the expenditures in different categories, as well as recommendations to follow the central government's health scheme rates, which is called the CGHS rates, so that again the rates don't go beyond a certain point. At the same time, in the past 1981 rules, there were a large number of areas which were not covered under the rules, and so in the new rules, those areas are also going to be covered, and this, of course, include treatments like dental treatment, like hearing aid, artificial appliances, kidney, liver transplant, so on and so forth. And earlier in the rules, these kind of definitions were not there, and therefore it led to a lot of additional work to be done by the DHS, and therefore these rules were necessary. We are hopeful that with these rules, the overall expenditure on medical reimbursement will be much more structured, and will also be done in a much more controlled manner.